that down, let's go on and talk about this, shall we? You know, the Superman trailer dropped yesterday, and I'll just say it's perfect. It's a perfect first trailer. I couldn't believe all the incredible right choices they make. Start the trailer by showing Superman beaten and bloody, because one of the big problems with trying to tell a Superman story, we talk about this all the time, is the guy's basically a god. How can you tell an interesting story? Boom, start off with him dying in the snow. The whole criticisms about Superman wouldn't let, city destruction happen in his fights. Boom, city destruction on that. And him feeling and maybe getting hated on by people as a result of it or as a cause of it. Quick little glimpses, tones of the John Williams Superman score with electric guitar. I mean, it just, for a first trailer that's not supposed to give us really anything yet, just give us a taste, I thought it was straight up perfect. I don't know how you could have made that any better. And even I, Chris, who hated on the Krypto, the idea of bringing in Krypto, I thought that's a bridge too far. Don't do Krypto. And it won me over.
He's perfect.
Totally won me over. I'm like, yep, now I can't wait to see this dog. Now I want it. So it did all those things right. But here's the thing. Now that the trailer has happened and it's out, it's part of the world now, it has spawned a lot of theories about what concepts, what can we glean about the Superman movie and things that might happen in the Superman movie as a result of what we've just seen in the trailer. And there have been many theories. I have a couple I want to share, and then I want to go over and read some of the comments that our viewers and theories that our viewers have shared that actually I quite like. So the first one that I want to mention is the robot. It is I think most people agree that is probably Kellex.
Oh, yeah.
Or a version of Kellex.
Sure.
Probably a robot that Kal-El grew up with, has had his entire life, maybe even the mouthpiece for the consciousness of Jor-El and his mother and all that kind of stuff.
I see. Okay.
And in a lot of iterations, Kellex is basically also the caretaker of the Fortress of Solitude, and probably someone that Superman has had with him his whole life. And again, this image that they have of him, when it's like, at first you're like, why is he crying over a robot? It's probably a robot he's had his whole life.
It's probably his last connection to Krypton.
And yeah, that's such a good point, Chris. It's probably his last, kind of tangible connection to
Right?
Krypton. I love that.
What do you have, empathy or something?
Sometimes. Traffic wasn't bad today. I'm nice today.
So the big theory, and the robot's also torn apart. So at some point, somebody gets into the Fortress of Solitude and does damage, right? So think that's probably Kellex. The other big theory I have, I kind of mentioned yesterday, but just let me sum it up here. The monster attacking Metropolis. I believe everything that we saw in this trailer, this is my theory. I think everything we saw in the trailer was all in the first 40 minutes of the movie. I really do. I think it's all in the first act of the movie. Maybe even a lot of it in the first 10 minutes. But my thought is that the monster attacks Metropolis, and you see all the heroes trying to take it down. Then we see that shot of even the buildings falling over like dominoes. And then we see, even though in the trailer people are chanting, Superman, Superman, there's one part of the trailer where everybody's really mad at him. And I think it has to do with this monster fight. And my theory is that this is kind of James Gunn doing his commentary on a lot of people's reactions to Zack Snyder's Man of Steel. Like everybody criticized, wow, Superman shouldn't have let all that damage happen. And James Gunn is like, hey, folks, if some universal threat is attacking the city, guess what? I don't care if you are Superman. Some damage is going to happen, folks. I actually see this as James Gunn having Zack Snyder's back a little bit. And I think that then the people throwing the can at him, because he was clearly all battle scarred. Listen, in that shot that Jonathan just had up, he's getting blasted with all that fire. And then when we see Superman walking to spawn and getting a can thrown at his head, it looks like he's got some scorch marks on his thing. So it's probably right after that, people probably mad at him for letting damage happen or whatever. And they see Guy Gardner coming in and putting up the Green Lantern shades on the stuff. So, and I think part of that is also going to be Lex Luthor. Look at that suit. That's been torched. It's been charred. Yeah, it's been charred. And I think also Lex Luthor is going to try to stoke that, Superman's this bad thing and all that kind of stuff. My third theory is Ultraman. Of course, we first got our first glimpse of Ultraman in a set photo that got leaked out when you had Rick Flag Sr. and a bunch of soldiers and Ultraman. They're kind of arresting Superman. Well, then we got a shot of him in the trailer. And there were some people out there, I saw some YouTube channels talking about, oh, they thought that was Mr. Terrific. Totally, that was fighting Superman in the baseball field. Totally understandable why you'd think that, because you get that shot of Mr. Terrific in a black outfit. So kind of like, so that was totally understandable. There's the shot, the behind the scenes shot, and there's Frank Grillo there as well.
That's black noir, and you can't tell me otherwise.
It's black, straight up, it's black noir.
This is the crossover I've been waiting for.
But here's the thing with this picture, there's actually a very tight black noir kind of connection. Because remember, in the Boys' original comic books, Black Noir was actually a Homelander clone. It turned in, they obviously didn't do that in the show, but in the comic books, when they took the mask off, you found out Black Noir was actually Homelander's clone. Ultraman is another version in the comic books, is another version of Superman from another universe. Only he's bad. He's a, what do they call them? The crime syndicate or something?
So.
Oh, it's just the Syndicate, right?
Or just the Syndicate, something like
Yeah.
that. He comes from a world where the Justice League is bad. Now, I don't think that's what they're going. I don't think they're going to say that Ultraman here is a Superman from another dimension. But maybe, here's my theory. Going back to Superman and the Quest for Peace, when Lex Luthor sent a strand of Superman's hair into the sun and created Nuclear Man.
Oh yeah, the Sentry.
What? Yeah, basically the Sentry. What if this Ultraman is actually a genetic experiment that Lex Luthor did to try to clone? Maybe he got a drop of Superman's blood from one of his big battles.
Kind of like the Superboy stuff in Justice, Young Justice.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
And therein lies a bit of the connection to Black Noir. What
Sure,
if
yeah,
they're
yeah.
kind of doing a Black Noir thing? Because this Ultraman, again, the shot in the trailer, he's fighting Superman. And I'm sorry, Mr. Terrific and Guy Gardner and Hawkgirl can't fight Superman. Somebody's fighting him. And so maybe he's kind of connected that way. So those are some of my theories. I want to read a couple of the others that some people sent in. This one's interesting, from the Ponderer, who said, this is a long shot. It would be cool. I doubt it'll happen, but it's my theory. It makes me wonder if the movie is going to be told in vignettes, kind of like Sin City was.
Oh.
Right? A section of the movie dedicated to Superman and Lois, a section of the movie dedicated to Superman and Lex, a section of the movie to Superman and Krypto, a section of the movie for Superman and other heroes. Maybe it's being told in the story vignettes. I agree that I don't think that's going to happen, but that is a very interesting theory. I kind of like that
Very
theory.
Superman for all seasons.
Yes, so I thought I'd mention that one.
Yeah.
This other one came from Dalton, who write, I like this. My theory for why people are mad at Superman is because he left Metropolis to save the kid with the flag, and something bad happened in Metropolis while he was gone. That's an interesting theory. He literally went off, and maybe when that monster's attacking and all the damage happened before Superman got there, that, Hawkgirl, Green Lantern, Mr. Terrific are trying to fight this monster. They're doing the best they can, but all this damage is happening, and then Superman shows up late because he was off helping people in a different country, and maybe they're mad at him for that and hold him. That's an interesting theory. I like that
really
theory.
Good.
But
Here,
that means he's very slow.
He's slow.
Slow, meaning he can't get to both places. Like in my mind, Superman could go and take care of things.
Yes, but even Superman getting to the other
Right.
side of the world and
battling.
taking care of whatever he's taking
Right.
care of on that side of the world, even if it's a matter of 30 seconds. That monster could have knocked those buildings over in
Right.
10, 15, 30 seconds, right?
That's just a really interesting talking point too, in
Right.
general, of what is your responsibility? Whom is your responsibility?
Who's your
to?
priority?
Exactly. Because
Yeah.
if we just look, at global politics as a whole anyway, it's when do we interfere? When do we not? When do we work
Yeah.
on our own home soil? When do we go over there? That's a really interesting one.
Yeah, so that's why I like that idea at all, because it's very relevant to discussions we have in our real world
And
today.
also, yeah, in your own life, sometimes you're overwhelmed by a lot of things. Which one you want to tackle first? It's
Exactly.
All right, Then this is another, it kind of contradicts my theory a bit, but I like it a lot. This comes to us from from Redhead, who writes, if I had to guess, I don't believe Superman is going to be blamed for the destruction the monster caused alone. I think we'll see other superheroes trying to kill the monster, Superman attempt to stop them from killing it, and that might cause those buildings to drop, and now Superman is being blamed for protecting the monster that destroyed part of their city. The reason I like that theory, even though it contradicts my own theory, is because when Guy Gardner, Nathan Fillion, is walking into the building to see Superman, it doesn't look like he's coming in to comfort him. He looks mad. And maybe this theory that, you know, the three other heroes had this plan to just kill the monster, and Superman's like, no, there's a way to stop it without killing it, because Superman doesn't kill. And that caused a delay in stopping him, and that caused the damage being knocked over. And maybe it's not so much that the people are blaming Superman for the damage just because they couldn't help it, but it's because, hey, you could have just cut off this thing's head and we'd still have these 10 buildings. And that's a theory that I really like too. Last one I want to read here came from our viewer, me named Jeff, writes, I think Ultraman and Bizarro in this universe will be melded into one. Maybe at one point Ultraman's mask is removed and it's really messed up, looking like a clone of Clark underneath. Which again, if Ultraman in this universe is like a genetic thing of LexCorp, which we have no reason to believe it is, but just theorizing, that could go on there as well. So those are some of the theories that you guys sent in to me that I really like. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, BetterHelp. Hey guys, it's John here. You know, as kids, we're always learning new things, whether it's how to ride a bike, play an instrument, or even ace that math test. But as adults, it seems like we lose a bit of that natural curiosity. When was the last time you learned something new just for the fun of it? Like new skills, a new language, or maybe just how to finally beat your best friend at that game. You know, therapy can be a fantastic way to reconnect with that sense of wonder. It's like going back to school, but this time it's for you. It's about learning new coping skills, setting boundaries, and empowering yourself to become the best version of you. And the best part, it's not just for those who have experienced major trauma. It's for anyone looking to grow and learn more about themselves. If you've ever thought about starting therapy, why not give BetterHelp a try? It's completely online, making it super convenient and flexible to fit into your schedule. All you have to do is fill out a quick questionnaire and you'll be matched with a licensed therapist who fits your needs. Plus, if things aren't clicking, you can always switch therapists anytime at no extra cost. So rediscover your curiosity with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/Campea today and get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/Campea. Take the first step to being your best self. Chris, what do you have any theories or any of these theories standing out to you?
I like a lot of these, but okay, that last image takes place based on the cut of the trailer. I could be wrong, but based on the cut of the trailer, it looks like that last whole situation takes place inside of Stag Industries. Simon Stagg, of course, being another antagonist in the.
You mean when Superman walks in from getting his head hit with the can?
We see a little
we did a freeze frame of that. We see Stagg Industries, who of course Simon Stagg, as we mentioned yesterday, is an antagonist of Metamorpho.
Who he's responsible essentially for creating Metamorpho.
Right.
And so I feel like we're going to have a kind of Metamorpho origin story popped in here, because that is a character that I think for your regular audience you do need to explain. I mean, his body is rubbery, he can turn into liquids or gases or solidify himself like rock. Like, he's a bananagrams character.
Can he become a giant
You
fart?
can even see his reflection, I think, if that's him in the prison.
Yeah,
thing.
we have that real nice close up of Metamorpho's face in this, played
So
by
he can
Anthony
become a
Carradine.
fart in the wind.
He can become a fart in the
Wow.
wind.
Literally.
He can literally do this.
Yeah,
He can be
nice.
silent and deadly, Jonathan. It's
Oh!
huge for them. But I feel like maybe that scene with all of the other heroes coming in here is more
Yeah.
of a, this guy doesn't know how to control his powers. This guy needs to be dealt with. And dealing with that situation there. I could be wrong.
So philosophically, a little bit of a reverse Kingdom Come.
A little bit.
Oh, that would be interesting.
What is there out of the ballpark? Like
way out
probably
in
that-
left field.
Mine still is when Hawkgirl's coming in. I think they edited something out from behind her. Maybe the
Oh.
Justice League Watchtower. That's what I'm
That'd be
hoping
cool.
for.
I would love the
like a
Watchtower in
silhouette in the sky, like she's coming from. Because she's coming down from something. Like maybe even just killing that big monster. She's
Yeah.
coming down from doing something, I believe.
Or
she just doesn't come out of nowhere.
Because like that's what hawks do, right?
Right.
They get hype and then they dive bomb.
Yeah.
Come on, just let me have my fantasy.
I would
of
love
You know
I
what?
like
It's Justice
the
League.
Justice
Yeah.
League.
Here's
right.
my way out there theory, okay? Remember, I am saying this is a way out there theory.
It's
Gonna be
confirmed.
good. This better
I'm-
be good.
Totally tiny chance of it actually happening.
I'm going to the trades with this. Variety's going to post this, so
Gus
It
is gas.
involves nipples. No.
Oh wow.
Here it is. Here it is. Way out there theory. A little bit of a Twilight Zone twist. There are iterations of Brainiac where he literally takes cities and civilizations, shrinks them down and puts them in little bottles where everybody's still in there, whatever. They find out Metropolis has actually been in one of Brainiac's bottled cities. And for whatever reason, when they got put in there, they forgot. And that they're actually in this little thing, and that Brainiac becomes a part of the film.
God.
Again,
Ooh.
I'm not saying that's going to happen. You asked me for my way out
Yeah,
there
I'm
theory.
done.
That's my way out there theory.
But you know what works about that is they're setting up that Thanos, right? Like Brainiac's like the big baddie, like for future. If it goes that way, I
Yeah.
just love that fact that
Darkseid.
there's someone behind the
yeah, the
scene.
big bag's got to be dark
There's
side.
the bigger
Darkseid's the way to
picture.
go.
But maybe he's the first big picture.
That's true.
Yeah, yeah, you're right.
My other one, and this isn't a way out there theory, this is just based on some comic books and having Krypto in here. Another reason why people could be mad at Superman is because in the comics, Krypto, again, cannot control his powers very well. He's a puppy, he's a dog.
Right.
And he, when trying to save people and intervene, causes mass destruction. And there is a specific episode, essentially, where Superman is also dealing with magical powers, which is not his forte. He does not deal with magic well. And Krypto has to come in and save the day and save Metropolis. And that gets the people of Metropolis on this dog's side.
But do you think they'd actually let Krypto be that centric to the movie?
I don't think they'd let him be centric, but I think we can also have a couple moments of like, get your shit together, man. You've
But-
got this crazy rabid dog. You have this dude running
I
around
swear.
town. Your team hates you. Like, what's going on? I think
I
it's
think-
going to be a death of a
If
I
someone
think-
throws something at Crypto, I'm leaving.
no, it's
That's
going to be
all
a John Wick. Someone's going to go to like shoot it,
But nothing can happen.
but it's going to
Krypto.
bounce
Still,
off,
It's just the
and then the guy's
motion.
going to go flying.
But I did want to. We talked about this yesterday. I want to get your theory on this. So
Oh, sure.
there are the comic books have different origins for Krypto. Some he shows up on Earth after Clark. Some he was in the capsule with Clark. Like
I love that idea.
Yeah.
Just a little baby with a little puppy.
I that's my theory. My theory is they're going to show that Clark showed up on Earth, or just say reference or quick flashback that Clark showed up on Earth with Krypto in there with him, rather than a time variance thing where Krypto went in. The way it's described in one major comic book outlet is that Krypto was shot into space as like a monkey being launched into space as a test, but then later Clark gets launched, but because of space time, Clark gets to Earth years before Krypto gets there, and then Krypto gets there. I think he shows up with him. I don't
Doesn't
think
that-
Clark discovers him later.
Doesn't
How do you
Kryp-
think Krypto gets there?
Oh. I mean, it is on par with like kind of how Kara gets trapped in like the Phantom Zone, and that's why she's so late, even though she was older
Yeah.
than Clark and blah 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 blah. So I think you can get away with those things. My only issue is then, I mean, I know he's a super puppy, but how old is Krypto if he's been with Clark this whole time since he was a baby?
And how do remember this is hard. Krypto is not a dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krypto is an alien species that may look like a dog.
Superman looks
Kinda
like a
back like a
man,
dog.
so
Am I imagining?
So who knows how they age?
Yeah. Biggest theory? He's the goodest boy.
Doesn't
the goodest
Crypto
boy.
like just roam around like Fortress and just guards that? Am I tripping, or did I see that in an animated comic where he's just sitting right there?
Sometimes he's just hanging out.
Or
doing that.
animated
And
series.
Hanging out as a house
and at
dog.
Other
Protect- yeah.
times he's on Kent Farm, living his
okay.
best life. He goes to a farm for real, not like what they do with all other dogs.
Yeah, we took your dog to a farm. Yeah.
Yeah, but I like that Brainiac thing. It's
I
That's
just
fun.
I think that could be a reveal down the line. But I think the main villain of this movie is Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Lex Luthor.
Yeah. And the main, what is his hammer though? Because obviously Lex Luthor's not fighting Superman. So what's his weapon? Is it Ultraman? Is it something else?
I think it's
And what's
manipulation.
a cameo?
I think so
they
too.
won't show.
Especially since the Authority is who we're
How,
dealing with.
if something they don't show it, then it's not a cameo.
I mean, no, like in the trailer, a cameo that of some a hero maybe James Gunn might
Oh yeah, well, I think
Who do you think will show up?
I
Who
I
else?
honestly think I do. Somebody brought this up the other day, and I wasn't quite on board with it. But the more I think about it, I think I am. I think we get our first look at Batman. I don't think he's going to play an important part of the film. I don't think he's going to be in much of the film. But I think we get at least a look at Batman. And so that would mean they've already got him cast, which I wouldn't doubt whatsoever. Remember, by the time they announced Ben Affleck was Batman, we found out years later, Ben Affleck acknowledged, oh yeah, I literally signed the deal 6.5 months before we made the announcement.
Yeah.
So he was Batman for 6.5 months before anybody in the world knew. I am, again, a quick phone call, like, okay, I don't know how we find this out, but I know somebody who might. And a quick conversation with Batman, Bruce Wayne, whatever. So I'm thinking that will be one cameo in the movie.
I think the only thing we're gonna see is gonna be like Wayne Industries cameo, like a, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, that part's easy,
I
right?
would-
I would love if we do a sort of death of the Justice League moment of all we see is a gloved hand with those little bat spikies closing up a box that's got kryptonite in it. I want to just have
That for the
Batman
post-credit.
as a post-credit.
That's-
Batman already making his plans in case these super folks get too powerful, especially in light of
Or
the
turn
damage that's
bad
happened.
or get
I
taken
bet-
over. Yeah.
I would bet all my money that Batman is the post-credit scene.
It's not a bad theory.
I
Just
would,
because
I would bet all your money too.
I mean,
I will bet my
no.
money.
Imagine how many people would just go back and watch the movie just to see that scene again, like in a theater. Like, I mean, it's crazy. I can't wait for this movie. It's so far away, so far away.
It's still so far away. Guys, question is for you. What are some of your theories that maybe you have about this Superman movie that the trailer has elicited from you? Whatever you guys think. I mean, hey, listen, fire some into the super chats if you want us to discuss your theory. Whatever you guys think, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.